Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Can't Carry Phones. I worked at a grocery store for 4 years. At the time I was 3 years into this job. I was working part-time while going to school. I was working in the frozen department, which most people did not want to do. I had a co-worker who we will call Karen. She was full-time and older than me. She was awful and everyone who knew her in store hated her. Our manager and upper managers hated her and never wanted to deal with her. Each department had a minimum of 2 phones. One was a wired phone on our desk and the other was a mobile phone with a clip. If our manager was in, he would have it. If not, the first person would grab it and pass it on when they left or took lunch. That was standard procedure till one day. I had held the phone as I was the first one in and had been answering calls as they had come in. Karen comes in an hour after me. She clocks in and comes up to me. I need the phone. She was yelling with her hand outstretched. Okay, do you need to make a call? I asked, wondering why she needed it this early. No, I am supposed to have the phone, she demands, her hand still out. I give it to her, confused. Okay, here. Why are you supposed to have it? I ask, confused at the statement. I am full-time and you are not. Full-timers are supposed to be the only ones who have the phones, she replies, rolling her eyes at me. On the next shift, I come in and my manager is not in. I don't grab the phone. I leave it on the charger at our shared desk. I get to work and start my morning duties. I continue to work and talk with people. An hour and a half later, when Karen finally comes in late, she demands to know where the phone is. I tell her it's on the desk. She stomps off and grabs it. I continue to work for the next couple of hours. At some point, our store manager comes over to me while I am working in the aisle. Hey, is your manager working today? Hey, no, he is not. It's Karen and I working today. Okay, who has the phone? I keep calling it. He asked, confused, as most of the time calls get answered quickly. Karen has it. Oh, why don't you have it? He asks, fully knowing that when our manager is not here, and I have it as I answer and can give solutions. Karen told me that you had said only full-time employees are allowed to carry phones, I replied. That's true. You are full-time. I am not full-time. I am part-time, I remind him. He asked me to fill ice in our liquor store freezer. He also asked me where Karen was, because she was not in our aisle. I tell him she is supposed to be in the next aisle, stocking items there. I walk towards the back to grab ice. I was not there when the store manager got to her, but she had left the phone on the table she was using to fill items and didn't hear it ringing multiple times. The store manager was upset and told her off for not answering and told her that she should not have the phone if she was going to leave it lying around. 10 minutes after speaking with the store manager, he came up to me again after I had gotten out of the freezer. He gave me the phone and told me that I should probably keep it on me. The next story is called Wasting a Scammer's Time. This happened less than 24 hours ago. I just got off work and was walking around downtown trying to waste some time. As I'm walking, a man bumps his hand into mine. Thinking nothing of it, I keep walking until I hear him call me back. Oh no, my glasses, they are broken. Oh no, your glasses, they are broken. These are expensive glasses, you have to make this right. Oh man, I felt so bad. This man dropped his expensive glasses when he bumped into me, and they broke. How is this man going to get home if he can't see? I had to make this right. Come with me, I know a store. I follow the man a block or two and we arrive at a store that's closed. Shoot, the store is closed. Let's settle up at the bank. Oh, don't worry, I see another store a couple of blocks down on Google Maps. Let's check it out. The man follows me, walks into the store. Oh no, they don't fix glasses here. Oh no. Let's go to the ATM. Oh no, I don't have my card on me. I only have Apple Pay. But don't worry, I see another store a couple of blocks down on Google Maps. Oh no, the second store doesn't fix glasses either. What bank do you use? Capital One. There's no Capital One around here. Oh no, I didn't know that. Let's check out another store. Rinse and repeat for 5 stores, and an hour later we eventually find a store that can repair glasses. I paid the shopkeeper $5 and the man's glasses were repaired. I did the man right and fixed his expensive glasses after I broke them. Good karma all around, folks. The third story is called Not For Your Account. My previous mid-sized obscure bank merged with another slightly bigger but equally obscure bank several years ago. All the familiar, friendly faces were replaced by younger, less than friendly staffers. I walk in and ask one of the tellers to change my $20 paper bill to quarters. I need a bunch of quarters because the building that I worked in had quite a vending machine. I'm talking cinnamon buns, coffee cakes, gourmet hot chocolate, etc. The building owner imported the machine from Japan. There's just one problem. It's very temperamental when it comes to paper bills. It eats bills constantly. Sometimes bills get mangled and shredded. The teller, let's call him Cletus, looked at me the same way that someone would look at a bunch of junk mail. We can't do that here. The previous staff may have done so in the past. But as you know, we've absorbed this branch and we can't accommodate unusual requests such as yours unless you have a business account. He wasn't making eye contact now and was just fiddling around with his keyboard and monitor cables. His next words were the ones that set me off. I can help the next person in line. Wait a second. I have a few questions about my account. What am I allowed to do? Withdrawals, deposits, buy money orders? Any restrictions or limits on how many times I can do? Cletus, now speaking very fast and being very animated. No restrictions, you just can't walk up and ask us to make change for whatever cash you walk into the branch with. Okay, I'm happy to comply. Here we go. I'd like to make a withdrawal. I'd like $100 in 20s, another $100 in 10s, another 100 in 5s, and another 100, but this time I'd like 80 singles and $20 in quarters. Fine, like I said, any kind of withdrawal or deposit is fine for your type of account. He counts everything in front of me, hands me the cash and asks, anything else, boss? I pocket the $20 roll of quarters and say, yes, I'd like to deposit $380 to my account please, chief. I vividly remember his shoulders drooping and his eyes closing in disgust. Needless to say, I closed my account the next time that I stopped by. The last story is called Unacceptable. Many moons ago, I was newly promoted. I went from Rockaby to just above Rockaby. Not a manager, no direct reports or anything, but I did interact with them frequently. Checked in to see how their tasks were coming along, offered help and guidance where I could. It was a newly created position, so I got to make it my own. Part of the job was analyzing reports. I'm talking about the old dot matrix printed green bar reports with tiny fonts. I also got frequent project requests from higher ups, and of course everything was a rush. So occasionally I would put a sign on the back of my chair to the effect of "Project work in process, please do not disturb." Most people respected it, and if you really needed help with something, I would pause and help you. Then we got a new director, who told his direct report, my boss's boss, this was unacceptable. Then she told my boss, who rolled her eyes and told me. I said certainly, and then asked if that meant I was going to have extended deadlines since it was impossible to concentrate while being constantly interrupted. Of course that was a no. So little old me immediately started booking time in the smallest conference rooms I could find, never on my floor, and gave the meeting some random title. Then, if I finished early, I'd spend the rest of the meeting surfing the web or whatever, because screw them. I still got my work done on time, and now I get to shop on their dime. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and would like to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.